Hey gang, Massad Ayoob here again for the Wilson Combat channel, and once again we invite you to subscribe if you haven't already, and to hit the notification button that'll let you know immediately when new content drops. Now when you're done the video, Wilson Combat invites you to share your comments in the section that's provided. Wilson Combat monitors those and mines them for suggestions for new content, which is where this presentation now comes from. We were asked about ankle holsters. Been around for a long time, for almost as long as there have been handguns. People have started stuffing them in their boots. And over the years, X number of people found if you're wearing a suit, for example, and you might have to take the suit coat off and you don't want to reveal the gun, that an ankle holster was a viable option. I don't see it as my first choice by any means for a primary carry. If I have only one gun, I'd rather have it a whole lot more accessible than the single farthest point on my body I could be reaching to. It does have a lot going for it as a backup gun, as a secondary handgun. Now, when you are seated in an automobile is a classic example. You've got the seat belt on, you may have a coat on over the gun and a seat belt over that and all that. You may be in a bucket seat that comes out to here, and it may be awkward for you to access the gun if you needed it while you're in the vehicle. But when you're seated, that ankle holster is right about to here, and it's no trick to drop down, grab it, and get ready to go. Years ago in Combat Handguns magazine, I did an article on ankle holsters for backup, and I later got to meet two men who said that article had saved their lives, that it had inspired them to get a 2-inch .38 and an ankle holster. One of them was a police officer in the Carolinas. He was carrying a Colt Agent .38. The assassin who came up to the side of his car, pretending to ask for directions, had kind of triggered his alarms. The holster that he was carrying on duty at that time had required a rock back movement to clear, and the way his patrol car seat was, there wasn't enough play to rock back. And he had realized that and had the mental plan, if I need a gun while I'm seated behind the wheel of my patrol car, I'm going to the ankle. As he saw the man approach him and he got a bad eye vibe from him, he slipped his hand onto the gun, and when that guy whipped out a shotgun and opened fire, he was able to put 6 for 6 into that man and stop the threat and save his own life. The other was an armed security guard at a drugstore in upstate New York. Cornered a shoplifter and outside the store politely requested him to come back inside with the stolen products. And the man, much larger, viciously, violently attacked him, got him down, dislocated his arm. The officer's gun they were fighting over went skittering into the street. And the guy's last words to him, last words on earth, as the attacker stepped over and reached for the dropped gun, was, "You're dead meat now." And the reason they were his last words, from down on his back supine, the guard was able to draw a Charter Arms .38 from a Bianchi ankle holster and put a bullet through that man's head before the man could carry out the murder. You'll find when you're down on your back, some of the problems with the ankle holster disappear. It's awkward to get at from standing because your whole body weight is on those legs, one of which is holding the gun for you. Once you're down on your back, you can just snap that foot, no longer bearing weight, right up to the reaching hand. So it does have certain applications. I would not recommend it for anyone who had circulatory issues or arthritis because you're applying pressure on a joint and stricture around a limb. That said, it does have its place. Clothing design is going to be critical. If you wear jeans, you need at least boot-cut jeans. Otherwise, they're going to be so tight, you're going to need a spider coat to carve an opening to get at your ankle gun. The 511s that I'm wearing now are pretty cool for that. If you do have to draw from standing, there have been different approaches over the years. In his classic 1960 text, Handgunner's Guide, Chick Gaylord put forth a good argument for ankle holsters. He was one of the first real pioneers in modern concealed gun leather, and he was also a quick draw champion. He was a very large man, but he was able to do what I call the stork draw. He would just snap the thing up to here and whip the gun right out. He was a better balanced man than I. Now, standing here still in a condition of calmness, I might be able to do the stork draw. standing on one leg. What if I was trying to move out of the line of thread or off the X? I'd be down on my butt groping for my pistol. Others taught go down to kneeling, then draw the gun. The problem with that is in a fluid situation, kneeling breaks your mobility. So what I came up with many years ago, we call the cover crouch. We developed it originally for taking cover behind a low horizontal barricade, such as the engine block of an automobile, but getting there fast, quick in, quick out. We wanted something that would get you to the height of high kneeling, but maintain your mobility. We found out it worked remarkably well with the ankle holster. So what it's going to look like, done in slow motion, because I am very old and slow motion is my standard default speed now. First, as your hand comes down, you want to clear a path for this hand to reach the gun. Grab a fistful of trouser at thigh level and lift. The reason for that is once this leg begins to bend, fabric below it is not going to be lifting anymore. The non-holster side leg steps out deeply to the side. It brings you down like this. Okay, picture your opponent's a Cro-Magnon knuckle dragger. Well, get down to where you can drag your knuckles and you'll be in the position I want. Down here, it's fast in, fast out, about the same height you'd be at high kneeling, but it lets you access the weapon and immediately bring it to bear. Your choice of gun, obviously you want something compact. Historically, the 2-inch 38 has been the gun of choice for the ankle holster. The reason being, back in the revolver days, we did have small pocket autos, the Walther PPK, the Mauser HSC and all, but they tended to be rather finely fitted weapons. And one thing you're going to find when you carry the gun routinely in the ankle holster, the gun is literally inches above the ground. There's going to be dust and dirt getting kicked up. Wear an ankle holster for a week. And at the end of that week, you're going to see a layer of dust on that gun. Now, on a double action revolver, this one's unloaded obviously for demonstration safety purposes, you can have dust bunnies in the darn thing, and it's still going to give you 5 for 5 or 6 for 6. We found with the small autos, often 1 or 2 shots would be fired and the gun would jam on all that accumulated crap. Things are better today for auto shooters. We have the current generation of the baby Glocks, the little SIG P365s in their smallest size that are built to, mil-spec tolerance, if you will, for function, and seem to handle that constant dust and grime well. But you still want to be cleaning the ankle gun much more frequently than you'd be cleaning a holster gun or the bedside gun. You want to be practicing with it. You want a holster that's going to retain it. Remember, when you're running, every step you take, you're jarring the gun and the holster. You need a real tight friction fit like the custom Alessi that I'm wearing now. Just a safety strap is not enough, because if you have the thumb brake safety strap, you're running through the mud, or you just crossed your ankles or something when you were seated and you pop that strap, a fast run can dislodge the gun and leave the gun on the sidewalk behind you. So if you want belt and suspenders, a tight form fit, and a thumb brake safety strap. Be sure you practice with it. Remember, it's not ideal for primary, but it's sure better than not carrying a gun. And its strongest, most street-proven application seems to be as a backup firearm. Give it a try. Now, your first day wearing it, you're going to feel like Quasimodo. Okay, you've got an ankle weight on one leg, not the other, and it's going to feel like that. Give it about a week, and you're not going to notice it anymore. That's the best advice I can give you. I hope I've answered our viewers who are asking about ankle holsters. And remember, your commentary is always welcome, and as you can see, we do watch it. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next time.